Hi again, it's Miss Kate. This is page 103 in your new Interchange student book. All right, here we have patterns for making tag questions. Tag questions are little questions at the end of a statement. And we use tag questions just to confirm with someone what we are saying, or to see if someone agrees with us. So here are examples of some tag questions, and let's look at the patterns for how to make them. So we can start with an affirmative statement and then attach a negative tag question, and that's going to look like this. Health insurance is really expensive, isn't it? Or we can start with a negative statement and then attach an affirmative tag question. So that will look like this. Childcare isn't cheap, is it? Okay, so how do we make those tag questions? Let's look at my document. Let's look at how to make the affirmative statement negative tag first. All right, so we have to look at the statement first. Health insurance is really expensive. Now, the tag says, isn't it? So the negative tag goes with the affirmative verb. So the affirmative verb is, so we're just going to change it to the opposite, isn't. Now we're using the pronoun it because it's referring to the subject insurance. Insurance is non-count, and so non-count nouns require singular pronouns. Okay? So our be verb is becomes the negative be verb isn't, and then we use a singular pronoun because of the word insurance. All right, so be verbs, that's how you do that. And now this is present tense, by the way. Let's look at the second example. There are lots of criminals in the city, aren't there? Okay, when you use there is or there are, it's pretty easy to make a tag questions. All you do is use the negative and reverse it. Okay, so there are becomes negative, aren't there? Okay, so just switch the order and make it negative. The third sentence here. Graffiti makes everything look ugly, doesn't it? Okay, this one's a little more difficult. So if we look at the original verb makes, we can see that that is simple present. So in a tag question, we want to use the helping verb. No main verbs, just helping verbs. Okay, unless it's a be verb, we want to use the helping verb. Okay, so simple present, affirmative is going to require the negative simple present doesn't. Okay, we use the pronoun it because we're talking about graffiti, which is a non-count noun again, so it's going to need a singular pronoun. So simple present verbs are going to use doesn't in the negative, the helping verb. Here's the last example for affirmative statement negative tag. Colleges should provide daycare, shouldn't they? Okay, here's another kind of easy rule for tag questions. If you have a modal in the statement, then the tag will have a modal, not the main verb. So colleges should becomes shouldn't. And we use the word they because we're talking about the subject colleges, plural. Okay, so let's look at the negatives now. Childcare isn't cheap, is it? So here we're doing the opposite. Negative statement, affirmative tag. Okay, be verbs are going to be used in the tag in the opposite form. So isn't becomes is. We use the pronoun it because we are referring to child care, which is singular. Okay? Actually, it's non-count, and it's going to require a singular pronoun. Okay, the second sentence, here's our there aren't example again. There aren't enough police, are there? Remember, when you use there is or there are, just reverse it and use the opposite. So there aren't becomes are there. This is a little more simple than the affirmative when you have present tense. People don't care about our city. So here we see don't. So we're just going to use the opposite, do. We're using do and they because the word they is referring to the subject people, plural. And finally, we have a modal again. You can't find affordable childcare, can you? So again, when we have a modal, we want to use that modal in the tag question, and we need to use the opposite. So can't becomes can, and the subject is you. Okay, we're just going to keep it as you. So let's go back to the book page. And those are all of the sentences that I just did, but I tried to show you how the tag question was formed. I hope that helps you, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.